Stealth games, for the most part, have a tendency to follow genre conventions to the letter. You can jump from one to the other without really having to worry that much about the core mechanics changing. You can just get into any one of them and get going very quickly. This tendency does make the genre rather homogeneous though, and any game that breaks outside those established conventions is always an exciting affair because of it. And the group constantly pushing the boundaries of the genre lately has been indies, with games like Mark of the Ninja, Volume, and the game I'm looking at today, the Marvellous Mistake. This game is basically what would happen if you took the mini-map from a more traditional third-person or first-person stealth game with its top-down perspective and its vision cones, and you turned it into a full-fledged game. And when you think about the amount of time you spend in those games staring at the minimap and waiting for enemies to just go through their pathing, it makes a whole lot of sense. But Mistake isn't content to just leave it at basic conversion, layering some fresh new ideas on top of what was already a somewhat crowded plate. And as a result, the game falls into the trap that so many ambitious indie games fall into, trying to do a bit too much all at once. It has this feeling to it where you feel like it's been completed mechanically, that the game is good to go and it's just going to get harder from here on out. The level's more difficult, but then they layer on yet another mechanic and the game becomes even more crowded, even more difficult to parse. And as a result, it can be kind of difficult to separate Mistake's good ideas from the mediocre ideas that it has. It has all these rough edges that come along with its really great ideas, flaws in its ultimate execution. For all the distraction and escape mechanics that the game does so well, giving you all sorts of different ways that you can get around all the different guards that the game will throw at you, it often feels like it comes down to luck. One of the most established conventions in the stealth genre is that guards have defined paths. They always go to a certain place, then go to a specific second place, and so on and so forth until they eventually loop back around to the start. But in this game, they just kind of do whatever they want. It makes the game more chaotic and hectic, and I suppose in a sense more realistic, but they often take actions that would make absolutely no sense at all because they've rolled the dice in a certain way that makes them completely turn around for no apparent reason. It's one of those things that goes to show that when you're shaking up the established norms, you need to be sure that everything actually needs to be shaken up. Some things are there because they work well, and changing them is just going to end up making everyone unhappy. I don't mind trial and error gameplay. In fact, I often love it. But when components of each trial are randomized to such an extent, it makes playing the same level over and over basically like a flip of a coin. That said, the vast majority of things that Marvellous Mistake has done to shake things up are very positive changes. And while it really is too bad that one of the few things it screws up is so fundamental, I still had a really good time playing through this game despite the frustrating randomness found within. Every Friday, I look at a game that was either ignored when it came out or has been forgotten since. A game that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.